I'm Tim Herrera with the Sacramento County Office of Education, here with another Teacher of the Year profile. Right now we're sitting down with Kirsten Thomas, who is one of 2 Teachers of the Year from the San Juan Unified School District.
Yes, indeed.
Congratulations. And
Thank you so much. It's a huge honor. Absolutely.
Well, tell us where you teach and tell us what you teach.
I teach at Greer Elementary School, obviously in the San Juan Unified School District, and I have been there for 13 years. I teach 5th grade. I have taught 5th, 6th, a 5-6 combination. I was the acting vice principal there for about a year, and I've also taught 1st grade there. But I've been there the whole time. Prior to that, I taught at a juvenile detention facility for high-risk youth, and I taught there for a year.
So you've had quite a range of experiences in education.
I have. It's been pretty amazing.
How many years have you taught?
It will be 14, yes.
14 total?
Yes.
Okay. So you're teaching 5th graders, so you're multi-subject.
I am.
What are some of the challenges of being a multi-subject teacher?
You know, I think the challenges of being a multi-subject teacher is that you have a vast curriculum that you're responsible for teaching, and then you're responsible for assessing all of those in a 6-hour day. And so I think it's a juggling act. I try my best at times to utilize cross-curricular activities so that I'm kind of getting at 2 at once. And then also being that I am at a Title I school, we do a lot of literacy and numeracy to make sure that our students are ready for the workforce and are ready to just be successful college-bound students. So.
Teaching in itself is a challenging profession, but talk about what it's like teaching in a Title I environment.
It is amazing. I mean, it is really difficult at times, but the other part about it is that the rewards are great. When you see a student who walks into your classroom on the first couple days of school who does not view himself as a lifelong learner and doesn't view himself as being a part of a school community, and at the end of the year when he's writing essays about being a lifelong learner and speaking to the school board people at writers' workshop seminars and things like that, where he's embraced himself as a learner and wants to be a learner and wants to go forward with that, those rewards are just absolutely amazing. And our families at Greer are just dynamic and amazing, and it's just, it may have its challenges, but the rewards are so much greater. They really, really are. Are you dealing with some language difficulties there? We
too?
do have
multiple languages.
We have multiple languages at Greer, so we do have an ELL population. But then we also are dealing with the fact that many of our students may be linguistically deprived just because they may not be from print-rich environments. So we do a lot of academic discourse where our students will have academic conversations using complete sentences. There's lots of vocabulary up on the walls with picture representation, and I think that meets the needs of all students so that they can conceptually think. But we do have ELL students that we serve also. So it's a challenge, but I mean, if you don't go to work without a challenge, it makes it exciting every day.
Yeah. So you talked about the relationships with the families and how strong that is. Kind of explain how important it is to have that relationship with the student's family.
It is my belief that I'm a teacher, and I may be employed by the San Juan Unified School District, but my ultimate employee is my parent community. I mean, those are the people I'm serving. Those are the people that I work for because I am being bestowed the gift of their child for 6 hours a day. And for many of my parents, if they're working, I see their child more than they do sometimes in a given day. And so I really need to make sure that I am serving that child to the best of my ability so that they can be the best people they are. And I'm in turn doing that for the parents. So that means a lot of constant communication, weekly progress reports. And in 5th grade, some people say, oh, I just may send the test home, but we have weekly progress reports that report behavior, academics, and then just notes of how wonderful they are. And I do home visits. I'll go and I'll talk to the parents if I need to. If they don't come to parent conferences, I'll stay late, or I will go to their house or meet them at a restaurant, whatever it needs to do, because I work for them, So it's fundamental for our students' growth. If the parents don't have the buy-in into what the students are doing, then the students don't believe that it's valuable. I can tell them it's as important as they want, but family's family, and having that buy-in is just the most. And plus, it makes my job easier.
Well, and you get the reinforcement at home.
Absolutely. If I have a relationship with the parents, if I do have to make that phone call that, so-and-so hit so-and-so or something happened, then I have the support of the family because I've already established a relationship with my parent community, which is without my parent community, I can't do my job. And so when I call, I also see that we're partners and we've got to strategize together to be able to do what's most successful for their child and for my student. And I see it as is that we may have to tag team it sometimes where I hand it off and it needs to be followed up at home, but without that communication with my parent community, that wouldn't happen. And I don't see it as school versus family. I see it that we're just one big family together and we work together to make things ultimately successful.
So what do you do to kind of reach out to those, maybe the hard to reach families who need a little bit more motivation to kind of really buy in that you are partners with them? A
lot of parent contact, home visits, a lot of phone calls, and not giving up. I mean, I think that in past, what happens is that a lot of our parents, if they are very standoffish, if the teachers aren't reaching out to make that happen, then I don't have to interface with you. And so I don't see that as an option. It's my job to teach your child, absolutely, but it's our job to make that person the best person that they can be, and we have to do that together. So I will go on home visits, I will do multiple calls, I'll invite them to our parenting classes. I also did an extended day for my class where I just stayed after school for an hour, and out of my 28 students, 26 of them stayed for 3 days a week, and then parents just started dropping in so they could help their kids with their homework, and it just kind of became this big family thing. But I think it's putting yourself out there in a way that's not, I'm the teacher and you must do what I say, because that's not the way it works. We have to strategize together, and I also believe empowering people with what they know. Who better knows their child than the parent?
You spoke several times about the home visit. What kind of special insight do you get when you go into a student's home and you can kind of see the environment?
I think that if you walk into any environment and if you're an observer, you can get insight about anything. And I think it often allows you to feel the family dynamic, and it also gives you insight into who the student is. And it's my belief that I need and I want to know who my kids are. And that home visit makes it incredibly powerful, and for me to do that. I try to get to most of my parents. Some parents I may not get to because they're at school on a regular basis, so we connect all the time. But I also think that sometimes the home visit can be a real encourager for parents to come to school because they may not necessarily want me at their home. And I respect that as long as we have a way that we can communicate effectively. And also the home visits also empower, if phones are disconnected or things like that, I know where you live, so I'm going to reach out and I'm going to help you. I'm a resource, not a hindrance. I want them to see us as a resource and not a place that's just coming to say your child did this, 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 and this. If you need help, let me get you the services that you need so that we can all be really successful in this year.
So what motivated you to become a teacher? What brought you here?
I had worked with kids since I can just remember. I mean, I remember babysitting when I was young. I remember being in college and actually studying construction management and starting in that field, but still working at a day camp every summer and also having a Girl Scout troop and constantly interacting with kids. And when drafting was really, really hard. And but I was always teaching. And I didn't really realize that I was teaching that whole time when I was running after school programs to pay for school and all those types of things. And then it just clicked, and I haven't looked back since. It's just been the most amazing journey in the entire world, just to be able to influence the lives of people every day and know that you have an impact and that you can change the future. You absolutely can.
What kind of a sales pitch would you give to someone who's considering being a teacher?
I am absolutely fortunate enough to work at a professional development school where I have student teachers in my classroom, at least 2 a year, and sometimes up to 3. And I think that what it is that it is the one profession that I believe that you get daily rewards no matter what you do. I mean, you walk in the door and there may be 28 students. Not all of them may like you that day, but by the end of the day, you're going to get some sort of positive interaction with every single one of them. And then you also have the ability to create change and see that and hear that from people. And the fact that, you know, I am at a very high risk mobile school, and I still have students that come back from 10 years ago, 13 years ago with their families, and now their kids are coming and they're in first grade. That's what it's all about, and it's just the most rewarding job, and my student teachers start to see that. It is probably one of the most demanding jobs that you'll ever have, 200 decisions every minute or whatever. You're constantly on your toes thinking, and it's exhausting, but if you want that mental work and you want to be challenged, then there's no better job for it. Absolutely.
Well, congratulations on
Thank
the
you
honor
so
that you
much.
earned.
Thank you.
We're fortunate to speak with Kirsten Thomas, who
Thank
is
you.
one of 2 Teachers of the Year from the San Juan Unified School District.
Thank you. The pleasure's been mine.